All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Cobb Brothers podcast. Make sure you subscribe and come back next week.
Like it.
And once you come back next week, check out the show, see what it's about.
Wait, is it over already?
Yeah, is it
We're
not
done?
over? That's what you asked me to do, is to close it out?
No. Start it up.
Start it
Start it up
up?
from the top.
Oh,
No, we're going backwards this week. We're starting at the end and we're going to finish at the start.
the day
It's
was
like golf.
December 23rd. Wait, what's the start?
What's so significant?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 146 of the Cobb Brothers podcast. I'm Cyrus.
We are at the end still?
What?
Are we still at the end? I don't know.
Oh, the N? Okay, in 2037, a choke on a corn dog.
Sick.
I'm joined, as always, by friends and co-hosts, Oscar.
Yeah, that's me. I don't choke on the hot corn dog.
Well,
I
not
choke on a
yet.
piece of watermelon.
You haven't seen the corn dog.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is it one of those lake corn dogs?
No, it's a sandwich corn dog.
I'm not going to get into this, okay? Just introduce the next person. I'm not going to get into it.
And we are also joined by Barndor.
I would.
He would.
I would choke on a corn dog.
Mm-hmm.
I take very large bites of corn dogs.
Can we agree
Dude,
that
why are corn dogs the menace of the Cabras?
Have you had one?
No, they're not a menace. They're a blessing.
Are they?
It's one of God's it's one of his own creations, like in our hands. It's a blessing.
Have you ever
Especially
been to
those county fair ones, dude.
I'm just about to say that. Get out of my head.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
Wait,
because
wait.
that's how good they are.
Dang. I was kept trying to interject, but I was trying to be polite. And then you stole what I was going to say, so fuck you.
Wait, what kind of hot dogs? Corn dogs?
County fair.
Ones from county fairs or like state
County fair
fairs.
corn dog.
Yeah,
I think I
the
have
ones
had
that
one of
count.
those.
The ones at any county fair, state fair, they're usually the best ones because they typically have the hot dog. They dip it in the batter right there and they fucking cook it.
I don't think I've had a corn dog from like a state fair or something.
It is the crunchiest, fluffiest cornbread ever on the best hot dog. It is just so good.
I've had like funnel cake and stuff like that, but I haven't had like a corn dog from there.
Yeah, you know how like funnel cake from a carnival or a fair just slaps, but then someone makes funnel cake at home and it's like, why is it so greasy?
That's true.
Why. That's why.
Because the fair folk know how to do it.
Do you guys know how to make funnel cakes like that?
I don't know. I've never made a funnel cake, but it'd probably be not too difficult.
I could give it a shot.
You just got like, it's like flour, right? And you just fried flour.
And then use some of that sweet sugar, that powdered sugar.
Oh yes, the cocaine sugar you mean.
Yeah, yes. I'm in love with the cocaine sugar.
The cocaine sugar.
Oh, man. Well, enough about county fair hot dogs. What's everyone been up to this week? Anybody got anything exciting to share?
Yeah, I got fucking this game called Immortals of Vivarium. Came out on Game Pass. It came out last year, and it was like a big thing. Everyone was hyping it up, and then it just went silent. And so it came on Game Pass. I've been trying it out. It's alright. I'm having a good time with it.
What's it like?
It's gimmick. It's a first person spell shooter. Like you have unlimited ammo. Your spells, you gotta reload them. You gotta reload your spells somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But it's I see it as like a movement shooter, cause I fucking just getting like stomped on every time. Like if I stand still, I'll just get lit up. But its trope is that like it does like the three different color things. You got like not necessarily match, but each color does like a different style of shooting. Like blue is like a long range, medium range, like single fire thing. A red is like a shotgun, and then the green is like an SMG. And you just fucking throw spells out everywhere and fight dudes, and it's some sort of like magic war or something. I don't know.
Yeah, story's not important. Gameplay is king.
Well, the story is just, I don't know. It's alright. It's a pretty cool story. That's all. I mean, I'm not gonna, if I go into like the cracked world, you know what I mean? Because the whole world's cracked through all the magic that everyone's using.
What if
And
you
the only way to
cracked at
stop it? I mean, if I was cracked at it, I wouldn't be level. But I'm not cracked, and I am struggling in this level. But I'm having a good time with it. It's that's not too bad. Like I said, it's got that like color theme. Like you know how God of War has like grid was it red? So I got to use my frost axe to fucking kill him or some shit like that.
Red.
Some of the similar style like that. Check it out. It's on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass. It's
Sounds
free.
pretty cool. But of Game Pass games, I've been playing one called the Chance of Sonar. That one's been pretty interesting to me. You got to you're this dude who doesn't know how to talk, and so you have to go around the world and see all these glyphs and decipher them to figure out what they mean to find a way up. I think this story is supposed to be like based off of like stories of the Tower of Babel. And so the whole premise of the game is you're trying to get to the top of the tower to get to God.
He can finally teach you to speak.
Aries.
Yeah, like there's definitely moments when it finally gives you, because you can like write down your own guesses for the glyphs for what you think it might be, just seeing how people react to it and say it and shit. But eventually, once you find enough of them, you actually write down in your journal some drawings of it, and you have to match the glyphs to the drawings. And once you match all the ones on that page, it permanently shows you what the actual translation is.
You build the language bit by bit, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty
Sometimes
cool.
sometimes it's really easy to figure out, and then some other times you're like, oh, I'm pretty sure this is this word. It's fitting in with what they're. Because once you find a word, if someone talks, it'll say this ... or like whatever your guess is, and then continuing for what you've uncovered. And I've had a couple times where I'm like, yep, that's totally that word. That's how I would use it. That's how it seems like they're using it, and it means something completely different.
Huh. Would you say it's easier to learn Italian on Duolingo than it is to play that game?
No, because the good part about the languages in that game, it's all written. There's no, you don't speak it. You just have to look at the glyphs and be like, this symbol means that. The symbol is the word, kind of like how Asian writing is.
Okay.
All of Asian writing?
It could.
Not all of Asian
Are you
writing.
generalizing?
Well, it's Asian, Middle Eastern. There's a lot of places in the world that use different symbols that aren't the American. What is it? Lexicon? That's the word.
What's it called again?
Lexicon.
No,
Oh,
not
Lexicon.
Lexicon.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
No, the
that
the
Gen
game.
4?
Oh, Chance of Sonar.
Chance of Sonora.
It was one of the two most recently added ones.
I think I saw it. Okay, all right.
It's very
What if they did?
very simple graphically and stuff, but it's a fun puzzle game.
What if they did another version of that game where it was like an actual language you wanted to learn? You wanted to learn Japanese, and you just do all that.
People might have made mods for it. I think it's been out for like around a year now. I think it came out 2023.
Okay.
So it's fairly
That's
newer.
a good idea though. Like
I'd learn.
people put all those words into other languages, and then it's the actual word instead of the glyphs in the game. That'd actually be a really fun way of learning a language. Because I think it has
Duolingo.
multiple endings too. I have no idea how it's gonna have multiple endings, but apparently it do.
I don't even know how. You could just misinterpret words and it could lead a different.
Could be.
That's what it is, Brandon. That's what it is.
Either this is what it is, or this is what it ain't.
And this ain't it.
This ain't it, Chief. Sorry, Chief.
What are you, Cyrus? You been playing any games? Any new games?
For Game Pass, God, I've been playing Goat Simulator 3 lately for no reason
Hell
whatsoever.
yeah.
Man, it's a blast. The dumb shit
Do you
that
need a
game
reason
gets
to
away
play?
with. I mean, probably lobotomy. Start with that. I feel
I
like
might do
if I had a lobotomy, that would be the most soothing game on the planet. Because it would just make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much absurd
make
shit
sense.
in the game. It's pretty good. They're doing a 10-year celebration where they threw in the old NPCs from the original Goat Simulator game.
Oh, cool.
You can play as a
I never played it.
NPC, just walk around and wear all your regular goat outfits with a NPC character from Goat Simulator 2014.
Oh my god.
But yeah, there's an achievement to go around and collect all of the movies and take them to the movie theater. And one of them is called Where the Heck is Steve? And it's a ripoff of Finding Nemo, where this fish is
Oh my
swimming through
God.
the ocean and they just fucking snatch him up and chop him up and make him into sushi. And then it just flashes the title. It just goes, Where the heck is Steve? I dropped my phone.
Whoa.
Wow. There's Steve.
Found Steve.
I was pretty
Wait, did you
agitated by
play as Steve? Isn't he like a
Yep.
fish skin you can get, right?
Yep, and you can play as Steve.
That's incredible.
I always remember Brandon playing as Tony Shark, which is a
Tony Shack.
it's a hammerhead with a skateboard. But you can unlock an angry goat, which is just a rhino. There are some Detroit Become Human references where you can play as an android.
An android goat.
Yep. There's a hobo.
And they're
He's like
you
Wizard
can play
the
as a
Gray.
giraffe, right?
Yes, tall goat.
Tall goat. That's
Tall
right.
goat, yeah. And there's a homeless guy named what's his name? He's like Wizard Gray, and he summons a
with
portal.
Wonder who it could be.
Could be anybody. But it's a lot of fun. I'm one achievement away from completing it. but it's like you have to complete all of the dumb, stupid side tasks in the game, like every single one of them. It's tedious as hell.
Of course.
But
dude, the worst one for me was getting all those boxes into the garage.
Fuck
that shit was pissing me off.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I learned you can just completely skip that. You know, like there's enough points elsewhere in the world where you don't have to do that.
Oh sweet. I wish I had known that earlier.
Me too.
Sorry, Ellie just interrupted me and I had to mute my mic, and about 5 times I was like, yeah, sorry, I had to. Yeah, okay, so yeah, sorry, I had to. Okay, yeah. Talking over me, and I was like, God damn, guys.
Oh.
But, yeah, you interrupted me. But what game were you talking about again?
We're talking about Goat Simulator 3.
Goat Simulator. Okay, yeah.
Baller game.
Yeah, it is very good.
Multiplayer games are kind of meh. I kind of just like fucking around with you guys rather than play other little games around the side.
The best part about that game is it's 4-player split screen.
What?
Yeah, we could all get together and
you
just play
split
Goat
screen.
Simulator.
That's
Next time
awesome.
we're at David's, we could do a goat play.
All right.
You know what's really fucked up?
What's
Goat Simulator 3 can do that, but motherfucking Master Chief Collection can't do that, which is wild to me.
Some bullshit,
Wild.
isn't it?
Utter bullshit, dude. Dude, I just wanted to play couch co-op Halo 3 game for that. I got my fucking 360 out. I don't even know where that bitch is at.
Isn't it sad that you have to
reminds.
pull out a 360
Sorry.
to do that? Something that a
It's so
Series X
lame.
can't? Bullshit.
Did you guys see a little while ago the Rooster Teeth founders played Halo 1 for the one last time on one of their original recording Xboxes with one of their with original equipment and stuff?
I did see that.
Yes.
Fucking before. My favorite part about it is that they didn't fix the goddamn capture. So someone accidentally kicked it in and started glitching, and they just sat there the whole time playing with the screen going black every 5 seconds. They were like, "This is literally how it was when we made the game, so we're used to."
The 2001
Dude, they made
experience.
the game?
When they played the game, sorry,
Oh.
made Red versus Blue and played the game. You know, my brain fumbled. I fumbled the bag, guys.
It felt
Way
like
to fumble breaks.
they started making content that everybody wanted to check in on right when it closed. They were like, "Oh, okay, we have all these ideas, and since we can't anymore, let's do it." Which is a shame because I remember they did their 20th anniversary last year, and they did a new episode of Rage Quit. They did another versus. They brought back a bunch of old shows that's spanned between Achievement Hunter and Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, for that week, I remember that.
Yeah, and then they just stopped. They were like, "Okay, it's a one-off," and they were serious because they folded this year. It was probably a premonition. It wasn't them making fun of us.
Those 4 probably had meetings with Warner Bros. And they were like, "Hey, sorry, not sorry, but it's either you or this guy, and it all depends on profits by the end of the quarter. So we'll talk again in 4 months."
Yeah, Big Daddy WB wants their money.
No. They need to funnel all these funds into Velma. Okay, so that way they can air.
Yeah, season 2 Velma.
Season 2 of Velma.
Dude, I don't know why. Everyone hated that show, man. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, just season 2. Do it again."
Warner Bros. Had enough money to make a bunch of bots that were like, "This show is awesome," and gave them all fake reviews.
It's more about attention.
Ugh.
If people are watching it, even if it's to hate on it,
That's
there
views.
had to have been enough people that clicked on that show where they were like, "Oh yeah, we need a couple more seasons of this." Fuck yeah, because season 2 dropped all at once. Because season 1 was episode by episode, week by week, but there was a demand there where they just dropped it all at once this time. You look at the other stuff that Warner Brothers canceled, and it's pretty shitty. But at least Multiverse.
They canceled Batwoman, didn't they?
Yep, the movie was done. It was the grand return of Michael Keaton's Batman. Outside of what was the movie a few years ago?
Oh, Flash, the Flash movie.
Last year, yeah, Flash. Oh my god. But yeah, it was supposed to have Michael Keaton's Batman in one last hoorah,
That's
and it just got fucking
crazy.
tabled.
I don't know why they would fucking do that, man. They're so stupid sometimes.
I think I brought it up as well, but they also canceled the Wile E. Coyote movie. I guess that was pretty well into production.
Didn't they wasn't it he was suing Acme or something because they kept failing to catch the Roadrunner or something like that?
Yeah, it was like a Roger Rabbit situation where it's Wile E. Coyote in the real world.
Damn, I wanted that. That would have been cool to watch.
You know who's attorney
I
was?
love Looney Tunes in Action. Looney Tunes in Action was a fucking great one.
Back in action.
Oh, that was Back in Action. Sorry, that was cartoon and live action. You know what I mean?
Was it super good, or did I just like looking at Brendan Fraser?
It wasn't super good. It was still a fun movie to watch. I laughed and Brendan Fraser. I mean, come on.
4-year-old me loved it.
Exactly. So you just have this constant premonition of just oh yeah, it's a great movie.
It's okay.
Probably dated as fuck though.
We have multiverses.
There you go.
That's what Warner Brothers is giving back to us. Spend $20 to get LeBron. Oh boy.
Ridiculous.
The normalization.
They came out what's it called? The Looney Tunes game, the Space Jam game, A New Legacy called. They like reached out to random people to make this game, didn't they, or something?
Did they? I have no idea.
That's what I saw in the review. I was looking at on the store, and it said that because it was on the tab for the Xbox Home, it said free games to play. So I was like, all right, I'll check it out. And then Looney Tunes, the video game, was on there, and the description said, "Oh, Xbox sends a call out to all gamers and programmers, and this is what they came up with, or some other fucking this because it was free."
I remember downloading it when it came out, and I've never played it. It might still be installed on my Xbox. I've just heard it's pretty shitty. Not shitty, but it's like very bland, and it takes about 30 minutes to an hour to beat.
Oh, wow! It's just a video game trope movie thing, like those CD things that came in cereal. But those were better than probably what that shit was.
Hey kids, stick this DVD-ROM in your computer, and then you can play games. Whoa! You know that shit never worked for me.
Really?
DVD-ROM never worked for me. Every time I popped it in my computer, I couldn't figure it out.
Maybe you just stepped it up. You know, just thugged it out.
Fuck.
Did you try to do better?
God, I should have thought of that. Should have thought of that. But no, I remember.
They need to bring that back. The CD in cereals.
Think so? Do kids even know what CDs are?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, if they give you a fucking Fortnite skin, they'll probably be flying off the shelves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good point.
If like, oh, play this CD and link your Epic Games account to get a exclusive Cheerios fucking bee skin in Fortnite or something. But also here's some other games too you could play or some shit.
I have a Totino's pizza roll skin in Gears 4.
You're fucking lying. What do you mean?
Yeah, to collect like 3 or 4 bags of pizza rolls and type in the codes on their website, and once you did that, they give you a zombie JD skin that is still on my Xbox account. Yeah. I don't know how valuable those skins are now, but no.
Just let me have it.
Yeah, kids, if you're looking for something fun to do, go jump in a dumpster, circa about 2016, and go find those codes.
No.
You're not gonna find them in your cereal box. Sorry.
You gotta get Tostitos pizza rolls.
You know what my favorite toy from a a cereal box was?
Knuckle Soccer.
I don't remember what cereal it was, but it came with it was when one of the Star Wars movies came out because you had a spoon that lit up like a lightsaber.
Oh, it's Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, for Revenge of the Sith. It had to have been Revenge of the Sith, yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I remember I saw the commercials for that. I was like, you guys just got Revenge of the Sith for me for my birthday. That was 2 days ago. Can we get this cereal? And they were like, okay.
And it was like a red, green, or blue saber, right?
Yep, it was. You got a red, green, or blue.
Do you remember when
I think we got ended up buying 2 boxes of cereals of that just so that me and Ben both had a spoon, so we wouldn't fight over it.
I was gonna say, do you guys remember when they used to do those promotions where you had to collect like 6 or 7 boxes so that you could cut out the tabs, and then you'd send them in through the mail for a prize? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah,
I did that.
Those, like, contests, yeah,
I did that once. It was the third Pirates of the Caribbean movie. What was it called? I think that one was At World's End.
Yeah, At World's End.
At World's End. And they had this little alarm clock, and you'd push down on it, and it would project the time onto the wall. And as a kid, I was like, oh, I need that. And I remember, I think it was like 7 boxes of cereal. My mom went out and bought all this fucking cereal. And then you still had to send $8 in an envelope to cover shipping out to whatever fucking company it was. And then they would send back an alarm clock. And it took like 4 weeks for that bitch to show up. But when it finally did, I still have it out in the garage somewhere. But it was just, it's about the size of a soda can. It's a little pirate skull, like the one that is on the movie posters. And you just push down on the top of it, and it blasts the time behind it.
Hell yeah.
And it doubled as an alarm clock, dude, so I could wake up to go to 2nd grade. It was awesome.
To go to 2nd grade? Well, I can't wait.
Fuck yeah. And that was the last time we did it, because what a waste of money. Cereal was expensive back then. It was like $1.89.
Cereal do be expensive.
Don't go look at cereal prices now. You'll be sad.
No, I do, bro. I fucking do. It's ridiculous.
Nowadays, they just like...
Corner stuff America.
It was the Spider-Man movie with Jimmy Garoppolo when he was like flying around the city with the projections and shit.
Jimmy Garoppolo. You mean Far From Home?
Yeah. Wasn't he battling Jimmy Garoppolo?
No, it's Jake Gyllenhaal.
He could have fooled me. But...
You know what it is, Cyrus?
What's up?
You fucker.
He's not Italian.
My
I didn't
bad.
think of that.
Sorry. Well, you speak Italian. Can you speak to Jimmy Garoppolo for me?
Yeah. Arrivederci. Tu mangi una balena? Io
Anyways,
mangi una balena.
Try to fuck. What's going on?
but when that movie came out, I think I bought a box of cereal, and the toy inside of it was a little cardboard like Spider-Man figure when you put on the thief suit, and that was it. It was a little cardboard tray, and you would just stand him up. That was the fucking toy. A piece of fucking cardboard. I was so disappointed. Also, I was like 20, like years old.
Is this a piece of fucking cardboard?
Not in my cereal box toy.
Did
But I remember
you do the box top things? You cut them up, bring
My
to school.
education.
Yes. Yeah, for my education. I was like avid about doing it. And then the older I got, the more I realized, holy shit, this does nothing. Our school used to hand out maps. Like they would give out like pieces of paper that we would glue the box tops to. And then the school would give you like a voucher for something. I don't even remember what it was when you completed the map. Nobody else had maps?
I did not have a map, unfortunately.
Damn, dude, that made it fun.
No, going on road trips with a map, that was a normal thing for us, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just.
like, what do you mean map quest it? I have a map. I know where I'm going.
Dude.
No, mine was MapQuest or Google directions, and then my mom would print them out, and that would be what we take with us driving. And then she'd be like, "Do I turn now?" I'm like, I don't know how long 5 miles is. What does it say? I don't know what it says.
God.
Do I turn here or not?
But one of
Cyrus, do you remember? Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I remember my uncle passing away like 10, 11 years ago. And we used his credit card points to buy a GPS. And that ended up with my mom. And we put a Garmin in her car, like one of those GPSs. And it was useful for about a year until iPhones like started using Google Maps very well. It's a piece of ancient technology to have like a GPS now. Just a GPS.
Yeah, I remember when my grandma got a GPS. We were down there for one like spring break or summer vacation or something, but we were there for a week and she was like, "Check this out! I just got a GPS. We're gonna test it out because I haven't used it yet. Go down to the grocery store to get us dinner for the night." We're like, "Hell yeah, cool! Let's head into town." And so we're sitting there trying to. All 3 of us were looking at it because nowadays, if I was looking at that, like looking back on the memory, we were stupid. But then again, it was a even stupider piece of technology. So it took us about 15 minutes to type in Rayleigh's, and we got it. The course was set. We were going to it, and then we fucking showed up at it was like, turn right to arrive at your destination. And we pulled in, and it goes, "You have now arrived at Rally's Grocery."
Rally's Grocery.
Do they even still sell just GPSs by themselves?
Yes.
Okay.
There's probably really fancy ones now that are better than on your phone or in your car.
Well, because I remember when I was a kid, they were just like little tiny squares. Like they had at most a 1.5-inch screen.
I think those are still like what they make, because I know a lot of truck drivers will use like GPS to get around.
Mm-hmm. It's better than having your phone mounted all the time.
In some states, it's illegal to have something on your windshield hanging.
Yeah.
Dude, rest in peace, my rearview mirror.
Yeah, you can't even have like charms in your rearview mirror. You know how you hang like dice or like scented air trees? Technically, that's illegal here. Technically. But like...
Technically!
Yeah, but I see people with unregistered cars driving all the time because RPD pulls
them
over.
Yeah, the fucking cops don't do anything. Some people like they don't even have anything on their back license plates or the front license plates. Just empty, and they're just driving the highway, driving through the streets. It's like, all right, yeah, cool.
Sure, whatever. Their bumper's barely holding on, and I think they're driving on a rim. But whatever, let them do that.
I remember when I was in driver's ed. It was like right before the semester started 1 year at Reed. Like I think I was 15 and a half, so that's when you could start driving.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point they had someone from Sparks PD come in and talk a little bit just about driving and stuff. And the 2 things that I took away from it, he was like, "How much have you guys been driving? How many hours do you have?" And one person was like, "I've actually gotten about 20 hours, and I'm feeling kind of really confident about it." And the cop was like, "That's good, but you're a really bad driver because I've been driving for a career for 15 years, so I have 15 years of experience. You have that," and it was just like, what makes a good driver is experience, and that was good lessons. But he totally just fucking bombarded this kid. That kid was probably like, "Oh."
Oh no.
Man, I don't think driving for a long time makes you a better driver. I've seen the way the average person drives. I should know because I drive around them.
Ew.
I think
Yeah. His advice was right in one way, because there's people that I hope are like us, where when you drive, you're paying attention to more of how the other people around you are driving and not how you are, because you don't want some douchebag to fly up your ass as you're just going to change lanes real quick.
mm-hmm.
You know, you got to be safe on the road. But some people are like, oh, I have my license, I'm in my car. I'm just going to fucking take some pictures, do my makeup in my car instead of doing it at home because I can't set my circadian rhythm properly.
I can't use my
Like
Pirates of the
have
Caribbean
to,
cereal
I have
box
to eat
alarm
this
clock.
burger and look at my phone to change the song right now and use my knees to drive. I'm hungry and I'm going to work. This is the only time I have to. And granted, people don't have a lot of time these days, but Jesus Christ, if you're driving, you're driving.
Focus on driving.
Look at the road.
You guys look at the road?
You're not
Dude,
supposed
going on Veterans Parkway at nighttime with my when you were behind me last week, Cyrus, driving back, I could see more of the road because of your headlights behind me. I saw the shadow of my truck the entire time I was driving because of how bright your headlights were
The
compared to mine.
headlights on my car are fucking insane. They are they are stupid
At first I was like, why do you have your brights on, dude? And I was like, oh, that was just because he was going on the hill and your light shined right into my mirror at that moment. And I was like, yeah.
Oh, don't worry, you'd know if my brights were on.
Everyone in town would know.
Everybody in town.
Straight up, dude, though, like I saw my shadow of my truck and your lights in front of my headlights. You know how if, like, you turn your headlights on while the sun's still kind of up and you can't really see your lights on the road?
Yeah.
That's what it was for me. There was just this faint little bit of amber glow in front of my truck, but I saw the road because of your headlights.
Once I turn on my brights, Colton in Oregon somewhere looks up and goes, "Oh shit!"
What I just friggin' say?
You gotta start speaking Italian.
Sorry, I don't speak Italian.
So in our short break, I was telling Oscar about a bad experience I had at Taco Bell, and it reminds me of an article I read this week about McDonald's in the city of Reno. So
Yeah.
The Reno Gazette-Journal published, or I think it was the Reno Gazette-Journal. They were talking about McDonald's does like compliance requests where they send out coupons and vouchers to people and have them go into McDonald's and rate their experiences.
Okay.
You guys have one guess to guess how bad Reno's McDonald's are in relation to the rest of the United States.
Very, because I went there the other day. The breakfast is awesome. I've never had a problem with McDonald's breakfast, but ever since they stopped serving 24 hours and breakfast all day, Big Macs and fucking double quarter pounders with cheese, they're not as good. They don't slap.
Oscar, what would you guess? Very good, very bad, in the middle?
I'd say they're. I mean, I've had pretty bad experiences at all the McDonald's here, so I'm saying very bad.
McDonald's as a whole in the city of Reno, like all of the franchises, all the restaurants and locations combined, this is the 5th worst city in the U.S. to get McDonald's in.
Let's go.
We're literally bottom 5 city. And I mean, that includes like big cities like LA, Dallas, Fort Worth, everywhere in Florida.
I believe it. You know what it is? It's probably because McDonald's doesn't have a lot of just off the highway locations between I-80 and 395.
They have just the one on...
In-N-Out has 3 of the 4 corners. You know, they're one In-N-Out away from securing the traveling through Reno. Oh, they have an In-N-Out.
We just have the one McDonald's on Vista by the Alamo. That's it, and that's as you're leaving towards USA Parkway. There's a casino called the Alamo on where Vista meets Greg.
Forget.
Yeah, never forget it.
I remember the Alamo.
Clearly. But that was pretty wild, and I think I saw the story on Reddit, and people in the comments were talking about their awful experiences with McDonald's here in town. And there's a lot of them, because I have my own. I've had a lot of shitty experiences at McDonald's. I thought that was just a McDonald's problem, not a Reno problem.
It's a Reno problem.
Apparently it is a Reno problem. So they also do it not just by the United States, but with the rest of the world. Reno is the 6th worst city to get McDonald's in the world.
What?
In the entire world. Yes.
Bro, come on.
America
is
8 of the top 10 worst cities, which makes Reno 6th worst, because it turns out the worst city in America to get McDonald's in is Pittsburgh, of all places.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but that's only second in the world. I guess the worst place to get McDonald's in the world is some city in Germany. For some reason, just barely edged America out.
So much edging.
Edged America out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's an illegal sentence.
But the best place to get McDonald's in the world is Jakarta, Indonesia. I guess they're like super bougie over there. Like they actually
probably
care.
Because they're like over there. They're probably like, oh, it's American. Every American has money. Every American's fat because they eat so much. And then we're like, yep, paycheck to paycheck. You know.
Can you fry some fucking cow for me, please? I don't care how you put it on there. No mustard. Yeehaw, $7.
Ni hao. $7, please.
I don't know. I think McDonald's would do better if they brought back the snack wrap. That's my personal belief and opinion.
The snack wrap.
Look, I'll put Reno at number 1 if we're the only ones that bring it back.
Dude, I know they should bring like some overseas menu items to like to the continental U.S.
Ones?
Yeah, because they have some good ass shit out there.
I know they have a falafel overseas. I forget what it's called. It might even just
McDonald's
be the McFalafel.
McFalafel.
Why not? Well, because they don't serve, they can't make a burger in India, so they have to have a completely different menu. So it's a completely different experience depending on where you're at in the country or in the world. Not the country. Reno's different. We're built different.
Reno is its own nation.
Yeah, so if you're thinking about touring to Reno or you live in Reno, just don't go to McDonald's.
Also,
where
just
you're
don't
at.
come to Reno.
Yeah,
it's full.
It's full, please.
It is full.
Reno is horrible. Don't ever move here.
Yeah. I know
People
that
only say that because it's getting really populated, and we really want people to stop moving here.
There was a magazine last year that published and said that Reno is the happiest place in the world to live. And everybody in Reno went, "Don't tell them that. Stop.
Stop. Tell people to come here.
Stop."
The Worst Little Podcast was voted the best podcast in Reno for a couple years.
Just for a couple?
Because it's the worst little city. It's not the biggest little city. It's the worst little city. But it's our little city, you know?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I don't like going to other cities because I'm like, I don't know where anything's at. Like, people are like, can't you imagine living here? And I'm like, no, I can't. I don't know where the fucking nearest Walmart is. I don't know what the name of that street is. I'm uncomfortable.
Reno's easy
go home
because we have 2 big highways and they do a split cross in the middle of the town.
And then McCarran is the giant circle that puts you in the 4 quarters of Reno.
And if you're somewhere in between, look at the mountains and then you know where you're at.
Literally.
It's because if you're in the middle of the mountains, just drive towards Mount Rose Tahoe and you're going to hit McCarran eventually. And then do a circle around the city.
If you can't see the downtown Reno lights or the Nugget in Grand Sierra, like you can't see that around you at all, you're no longer in Reno. I don't care if that's still in the city limits. That's not Reno. That's like Galena Creek area. That's starting to go up the hill. Them hill folk.
Hill folk.
Them hill boys. Dude, no, and plus there's all this fucking construction going on right now that just makes me want to rip my head off.
It's because they have to finish the project that will make the roads capable enough to handle traffic that we were receiving 10 years ago. When the traffic level is 20 years ahead of us for road projects. So as soon as they finish something, it's like, all right, boys, good job. Beer's on me tonight. Tomorrow we tear up that half to make it wider.
Oh, I don't know if y'all have drove out to Stead lately. It is a fucking nightmare. They have it down to 1 lane. To Stead.
No, I have not been to Stead in a good minute.
So it's a 2-lane highway or a 3-lane highway both ways. They want to expand it and they have it down to a 1-lane highway both ways. It's a nightmare because that's a major.
There's a lot of truckers that go out there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's one way to get from California.
There's a Walmart out there.
It is.
That's how there's a lot of trucks going in and out.
That's the only major big box store out there, and it's a fucking nightmare to go to because I've been there a couple of times and it's not great.
I used to live out there and kind of like Lemon Drive, that little shopping center over there. When I lived there,
mm-hmm.
This is fucking almost 20 years ago. There was nothing out there.
Mm-hmm.
And they started building that little shopping center. There was an ice cream store on one side of it, but they built that little shopping center. Like if you go onto Lemon Drive and take that first left out to those houses, because that's where I lived out in that neighborhood. They had a store one day that was literally just called the Music Store, and they had a grand opening. And my dad was like, "Yeah, sure, we'll take the kids to that." And we went there, and they gave all the people that came in a free harmonica, and like it was
Oh,
like a real,
cool.
it was like a legitimate harmonica. It was made of metal and stuff. Like it was a brass harmonica. I still have it somewhere, but
Wait, and stuff? That could be anything.
well, I mean, like it was brass, and it had like it was probably cheap, built, but it looked fancy for their grand opening. And it was better than one of those like plastic ones. I think they also gave us a recorder too, because we were starting our recorder stuff in elementary school.
Next time you
We
go
all
out
had
to
the
like,
recorder phase, right?
yeah, that was fourth grade for us. I
I
still
never
have my
had that.
recorder.
You never had to learn how to play a recorder?
No, I had to sing in my music class. We didn't have recorders.
We had in Washoe County, at least my first 3 years and stuff. You had to do the like singing one where you like sang songs, and just like it was learning songs, and you had a concert at the end of the year. And then after third grade, you actually went into like, do you want to do this or that or this or that? And then sixth grade was you could do chorus, which was singing, strings, which all violins, basses, and stuff for band, where you did learn the brasses and woodwinds. And that was the only one I did. I learned how to play trumpet for a year. I got good at it, and then I had to return it because it was
Dude.
At my elementary school, it was when we did band in sixth grade. Everybody wanted
Yeah.
to do brass. Like everybody was like, "Oh, I want to go play a tuba for no fucking reason, or a trumpet, or a clarinet." So it was pretty much first come first serve. Like they would have people go sign up for it, and they would just take the top 30 names or so on the list. So I got stuck in fucking strings and had to learn to play the cello.
It was literally reverse at Marvin Moss. It was everyone wanted to be in strings, and everyone had to go into band. And because they didn't want to be in band, they just played a brass instrument. There were so many trumpets and trombones, dude. It was like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I sat next to a couple of the saxophone players, so I could hear them playing in my left ear, but my right ear was the entire brass section, and it's just a bunch of kids blowing into a fucking horn. All the flutes and clarinets that were on the other side of the thing, I was like, I hope they're playing their part right, because I can't hear them. If they have a cue right there, it's like, oh, my ears stopped ringing. Boom, got it.
Dude, the cello was a lot of fun because I remember it was violins, violas, cellos, and the double bass, and everybody wanted to play the violin.
What's the difference between a violin and a fiddle?
I don't know names.
One's a violin, one's a fiddle. Got you.
It's literally what type of music you play with it. That's the difference. They're the same instrument.
So if I start like stroking really hard on a violin and yell fiddle, fiddle, fiddle.
No, if you start playing a song, I really tried to push through that one. If you start playing a song that's like "Devil Went Down to Georgia," and that kind of a style, like that kind of southern style, it's a fiddle. But if you do dun 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 dun, it's a violin.
Okay, so can you fiddle a cello?
At what point does
a violin become a fiddle?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me look up what the borders were for the American Civil War, and probably at that line, and any state below it's a fiddle, and anything above it it's a violin.
Good point.
Is that where the fiddle came into play? It was the Civil War?
No, I was just making a joke. But that's what.
Why would you lie to me like that?
No. Why I was saying that is because that's what I've watched fucking instrument videos, and people are like, "What's the difference between a violin and a fiddle?" And actual people players are like, probably just what you're fucking playing. Because if you hand a violin or a fiddle to somebody, you're giving them the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same picture.
I like my bows to be made of human
that scene from The Office when Creed was the manager for the day, and Pam was like, "Corporate just called. They need you to find the differences between these two pictures," and it's a picture of the building. And he's like, "Okay, I got this. I already see one." And so then she goes, "They're the same picture." It's literally it.
Fair.
That is Canvas Indica Northern Lights.
If you tell people that, that's the best Creed scene. Have you seen Creed's last scene? Have you ever watched The Office all the way through?
I've never seen The Office.
Creed's a criminal, essentially. Like,
Allegedly.
Like
Okay.
actually.
Allegedly.
No, like actually.
Okay.
Well, if you watch all the way through, he's actually a criminal.
Allegedly, actually a criminal.
There's a Halloween episode where everyone shows up in costumes and stuff, and someone's talking to him, and he's like, well, I'm glad I had this thing in my trunk for a party this week, and I didn't realize they were having a party today. And Creed's like, me either. And he's completely covered in blood. And he was like, he's like, it's Halloween today. That is convenient.
I fucking seen that scene. I remember that scene, dude. Oh my god.
He's like, I don't pay taxes. Every time I have to pay any federal income tax, this goes to fucking John Doe, or like, or it goes to whatever's name, that person's real name. Fucking,
The real name.
it's fucking. He's like, anytime I have to pay a bill, it goes to this person at this address. That guy's name, Creed Bratton, and his name is Creed Bratton.
Oh my god.
No, that's not what he says that because the last person that stole from him, his name was Creed Bratton. No one ever steals from Creed. The last person to steal from Creed, his name was Creed Bratton. That's the actor's. That's the actor's name too. Creed Bratton is played by Creed Bratton.
Oh really?
Yeah, and like whenever he's
Okay.
playing music and stuff, he was a musician in a few bands. I don't know if there was any notable bands. I'll look it up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
But he was an actual musician. And the last episode of The Office, everyone just kind of sits down in the office and they're talking about the good old times because everyone's kind of moving away. And in the middle of a conversation, Creed just walks out of the bathroom in his underwear, brushing his teeth. And he just has a giant beard because he's been living in the office with no one knowing since he left the show. And then it shows him playing a guitar and he fucking gives a little speech about, like, it's a really like heartfelt speech as you're watching the show. And then he's like, all right, boys, let's do this. The camera pans out, and there's two officers just have him in cuffs, and they walk into a police car.
Arrest that man. Did you guys see this this portal that they have in New York City that was connecting Times Square to Dublin?
Oh boy.
Oh,
Ireland?
that's one of my favorite news stories right now, and they've already shut it down. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, someone put a stopwatch and time it because it's not going to last a week, and it didn't last a week.
Yeah, it was we got it shut down with an OnlyFans model ran up and just flashed her boobs for like a solid 2 minutes.
Naturally.
Naturally.
Wait, was that one? Was she in Dublin or UK?
She was in New York.
Or see, I said UK, New York.
Yeah, no, she was in New York and she just ran up and flashed everybody. And that was the straw that they needed. They're like, all right, take it off. But also the people in Dublin, they would be showing photos of the Twin Towers burning on the fucking portal, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yes, I saw a couple of those where it's just a bunch of people waving and stuff, and someone walked right up to the camera and holds their phone up with that picture.
It'd be freaking ridiculous. But I mean, it just goes to show we can't have nice things.
I mean, was that a nice thing? That thing probably cost Dublin and New York a couple $1 million out of their city's funds.
But it's a cool theme, though. You can just interact with someone across the way.
You know what they could have done, Oscar? They could have put a laptop stapled to the ground on a Skype call.
Staple it.
Another staple it to the ground. Or it could have been a really good computer and they just put it up to a TV in like a block of cement, you know? Behind a little bit of plexiglass. Literally just two computers on a Skype call that doesn't end. That's what they could have done. They made this giant portal. It probably programmed a bunch of different technology to just make the Skype call that doesn't end.
And
now it's shutting down.
Well, because people started to get real offensive with it.
Well, but people would have gotten real offensive with it either way, but they shouldn't have spent a few $1 million per city to make a goddamn Skype call.
Do they not know the human nature of taking the piss out of each other?
Yeah, I take the piss out of you guys every week.
Between Irish people and East Coast American people.
Yeah, they were delivering, we gave it back. And vice versa. It's beautiful how we all got together and agreed on one thing.
Yeah.
That rarely happens. I bet it's just it was just a cool thing that they had up, and it sucks that it's gone. It's a cool thing, man.
I feel like it'll come back at some point.
There'll probably be like a security guard stationed there all times now.
On which side?
One cop per city to just be like, you know what that you know what that's gonna turn into though? If they had one cop or one guard on each side, the stuff in Dublin would continue to happen completely uninterrupted like it was before. Because they're in Dublin, Ireland. They don't care. And the guard's gonna be sitting there and it's like, I just got over here from the fucking pub. I don't give a shit if you show your balls on the camera.
It doesn't affect them.
And then on the American side in New York, if they have a cop there, they're gonna shoot at the first person that does something wrong. And that's gonna be the thing that'll shut it down, like permanently. It's gonna be the Americans, not the Irish. Because the Irish are just taking a piss. They know how to
Yeah.
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 They know
Yeah.
how to have a good time. That's a tongue twister. They
Say it
know
3 times
how to
fast.
have. They know how to have a good time. They know how to have a good time. They know how to have a good time. Got it. Okay.
Good.
So yeah, they know how to have a good time.
Dr. Pepper's Pissy Puppy.
No thanks.
Okay.
Dr. Pepper Pissy Puppy?
Dr. Pepper's Pissy Puppy.
Oh.
Mm.
No, I'm alright. Thank you though.
Well, okay. For you. I have an ancient relic that I'm going to bring up. Something that
Let's hear it.
something that you boys haven't heard about in a little bit. I'm going to put you on some game, okay? You guys remember
All right.
Redfall?
Uh-oh.
No.
Yeah.
I do remember Redfall.
I don't.
It literally came out last May. It was the vampire shooter from Arcane.
Oh,
that
Black
flopped.
Hole Sun. Yes.
Black Hole Sun.
Is it something
Right?
was like a clip, looked like a black hole?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that yeah, it was Black Hole Sun. Because they had to use that song because the sun was a black hole or black, whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Whoa,
Hey, Brendan,
Brendan.
that's generalizing.
No, it's
no.
speculating. Don't put that on me.
Xbox closed down a bunch of studios recently. One of them was that branch of Arcane, and
It was Austin, yeah? I think Arcane Austin.
yes, Arcane Austin. It wasn't the one that worked on Deathloop and what's the other game? Dishonored.
Oh, okay.
This was the branch that helped what's their face Machine Head Games with Youngblood, Wolfenstein. So their track record was pretty piss poor. Well, they had to refund all of these Xbox users because the DLC that they had planned for the game isn't coming out. Because even though it's been a year since it's coming out, they've just been trying to fix the game because it still doesn't work that well.
Of course it doesn't.
They told everybody, they're going to stop development on the game. Everything's going to come to a stop production-wise, but they're going to add an offline mode to the game finally, after the studio closes. Because it was an always
everyone
online
wanted
shooter.
in the beginning.
Yes, but the DLC still isn't coming out. The game still runs like ass on console. They never got close to the 60 frames mark. Still massive desync issues.
And it's not that much fun.
Yeah.
What'd she say?
Absolute disaster. Which is unfortunate because I remember we talked about Redfall last year. I made that video and I was always on the fence of, I'll go back once they fix the game. It's never getting fixed.
And they're not coming back to it either.
It's Homefront the Revolution all over again.
It's like that.
I'm like, yeah, they'll update some stuff and maybe it'll be playable. No, it's not.
Homefront Revolution. He pulled that out of thin air.
Out of fucking nowhere. That's not a comparison you want to be compared to, like, side by side.
No, absolutely not.
I've seen Tyson play it, and, he likes it. I don't get why, but
it's all right.
It just looks sad. There's other shooters that you could play that are much better.
Yeah.
Redfall being not one of them.
I mean, you just did a video, Cyrus, regarding Wildlands, and that's a much better world shooter than fucking Redfall is, you know what I mean? And that game's 4 or 5 years old at this point or something like that.
Comments on that video kill me, because 3 different people said that Wildlands is just Metal Gear Solid 5 on cocaine. 3 separate people.
I could see that. Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm. Also, that video is doing pretty well, so thanks for the support.
Yeah, thanks for everyone who watched that video.
And somehow got to this point in our podcast. What's wrong with you? But we appreciate you.
Sorry, I'm new here.
Oh, okay. Well, can you stay?
Yeah, okay, no problem.
The gang actually tends to the bar. Man, and
yeah,
another...
Bottom line is don't play Redfall. Don't play Redfall.
Yeah. Which studio? 2K has come out and said that they're going to announce something big. Or I don't think they came out and said it, but it's a big rumor that they're releasing a game very soon that they're announcing at on June 7th with what used to be E3 but is now the Xbox Game Showcase.
Ayo. Is it fucking Borderlands 4, dude?
They said that it's going to be a 4th installment in one of their franchises. And
It's Borderlands 4, dude!
Well, it could be Borderlands 4. It could be BioShock. It was confirmed 3 years ago that the BioShock team is working on a new game. And also, the studio behind Mafia said that they're cooking up something. So,
all good things cooking up.
I'm not going to be disappointed if it's any one of those 3 games, but I will be pissed off if it's not one of those 3 games.
What else do they have that's like an installment like that? Like they could run into like a 4th game.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of another 2K game that isn't one of those 3.
I'm pretty sure those are like the only like installment type games, like trilogy games they have. Right?
I'm thinking The Darkness, but it never had a 3rd one, so it wouldn't be a 4th one.
No, yeah. Well, I think didn't it have like a 3rd like standalone thing?
No, I don't know.
Mm.
Which company made Darksiders?
That's
was it
THQ.
Okay.
No, it's THQ.
Okay, not 2K.
I'm waiting for fucking Darksiders 4 on that one in that case because I love Darksiders. The whole story's sick.
But yeah, it's going to be exciting anticipating this next 2K game. I hope it's BioShock 4. Like that's what my hat's in the ring for. It has been
BioShock 4.
11 years.
Very long.
11 years since Infinite.
Fuck.
Yeah, and I think 15 since BioShock 2. So it's been a minute. We've been depraved of a BioShock game for far too long.
I would love They're doing a BioShock TV show, aren't they, too? That could be a thing, like, for people to go back and play the other games while the new game comes.
That's true. That's also the argument for Borderlands 4, because it's been 5 years since the last game, and there's a movie coming out very soon.
Oh, yeah, with fucking Kevin Hart and some other fucking
Kevin Hart is rolling. Jack Black is Claptrap.
That's exciting. I'm excited to see how he does there.
Who's Tannis?
He actually knows how to play.
God, it's that one woman. I forget her name. But
that one woman.
That's the more concerning one because she's a very good
Jamie Lee
actress.
Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Will she play a good Tannis?
No. Because I just with the trailers alone, she wasn't already acting like how Tannis acts in the game. She was just acting like Jamie Lee Curtis, who is a smart lady in this movie.
And is Kevin?
And also, she's a nepo baby, so she has to show up on set. That's it.
And Kevin Hart, is it going to be Kevin Hart as Roland or Roland as Kevin Hart?
I think it's going to be Roland as Kevin Hart.
The Rock's going to make a surprise appearance as fucking Brick.
I know. No, it's fun. Oh, wait, that'll be so good, though.
It's just a Brick Roland buddy cop movie.
He could be fucking, Torg, Mr. Torg.
Oh,
and start screaming at everybody.
No, who would make a good Torg in the Borderlands universe? I'm trying to think of somebody in Hollywood.
The guy that voiced Mr. Satan for Dragon Ball Z.
That's pretty good. No, I actually agree with that.
As actor-wise...
I think John Cena would be a good Torg if you put like a mustache and a black wig on him.
That'd be just goofy looking. That'd be very goofy looking, but I'd watch it.
Though. Look, he was Fred's dad, okay? He could do anything he wants.
That's very true.
Yeah.
He was Fred's dad.
I've always had the theory that the reason he played Fred's dad is because since his dad's not around, you can't see him.
Yeah.
So the lore is there.
The lore for Fred's dad intertwines with Borderlands.
And the last thing that I have to talk about before I release the mic to everybody else is Xbox Game Showcase is happening, and then a mystery game is also being announced right after that. It's getting its own showcase. So like Xbox is going to do theirs, and then they have one planned for another studio.
6.
Well, it's heavily implied it's going to be the next Black Ops game, but they're doing a whole showcase for it. And there's a prevailing rumor from people in the industry that this will be the first Call of Duty game to hit Game Pass. Which...
Ooh, day one Game Pass?
Yeah, which is amazing because fuck did Modern Warfare 3 burn me out.
Yeah, but you technically didn't pay for that one.
I still never finished the campaign on that one.
That's great.
I was on the last mission and I was like... Yeah, I was on the last mission and I was like, God damn, I'm on veteran. I just keep dying. I'm going to play something else today. And that lasted till today.
It's important to know the ending just so you know what happens, but it fucking sucks. You are probably like the living embodiment of ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
With the fucking game.
I have not watched the ending of it. I have no idea what the actual end cutscene is, but I am on the last mission where you like show up and storm in and it's like, oh yeah, this is it. But then again, the last time that I played it, I thought that I was on the last mission like 3 times.
That game on Veteran is stupid hard.
Yeah,
I understand.
That's the one that Modern Warfare 2. I played. I don't know if I've beaten that one on Veteran yet, because I bought it and fucking played through. I think I beat it on Hardened, but not Veteran, because I was like, I want to enjoy it a little bit, and then I'll play through it again once I know it. And that one actually had a great story. New Modern
2 and 1 were good. Yeah, Modern Warfare 1 and 2 were pretty good story games. The campaign was nice.
Their campaigns were good. They took the elements from the older games and they implemented them nicely in a new world. Modern Warfare 3 was just dumb.
There's like, hey, nothing to remember.
Here's this campaign mission. Do you remember this from Modern Warfare 3? Because my favorite mission from the campaign was when that snow one, when you actually had to like sneak around on the ice and stuff. Because I was like, oh, they're making an homage to that mission on the thing. That was a really memorable Spec Ops mission.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like that was literally the entire campaign. It was just mementos to things that was in Modern Warfare 3, but didn't actually build off of that.
The Modern Warfare clip show. They did it. They fucking boomed us.
They fucking boomed us, dude.
That's going to be the new norm. And it's going to be live service.
I just remember the worst part about Modern Warfare 3's campaign were those missions where it wasn't story-based. I forget what it was called. You know what I mean, though?
Are you still talking about MW3?
I'm saying, like, yeah, the worst thing about MW3 is the fucking... those missions where it wasn't, like, story-based and it flowed pretty good. It was the ones where you had to do an objective and sneak around. And if
open
you died,
combat?
Open combat missions. Those ones. That was so stupid.
Yeah, that's really dumb for a Call of Duty game.
They should have taken those open combat missions and used those for the Spec Op missions. Because they were Spec Op missions. Not campaign ones. You shouldn't die in a campaign mission and go, oh, I was at the end. It's okay. I'll just run through this real quick. And you're at the fucking beginning with nothing.
Yeah.
It was a campaign mission.
You have shit in Modern Warfare.
I'm so sad because I told myself I wasn't going to buy that game, and then I did. Technically, it wasn't money that I used, but...
That was in that he used the fucking Xbox $100 gift card thing that he earned.
Through Microsoft Rewards.
Microsoft Rewards, baby.
Looking back, it feels like I wasted it because I just don't give a shit about MW3.
You did, honestly. That's a game that you have no replayability.
So if
I got really lucky because I bought Modern Warfare 2 the year before that, and David was like, yeah, since you bought that and you made my home Xbox yours and I played that, I'm going to buy this one and make your Xbox my home Xbox. It was a great deal. Because I bought the better game.
If Call of Duty comes...
It was a great deal for him, honestly. Or no, he bought the worst. I'm sorry.
He did buy it, yeah.
Yeah. He bought the MW3, I bought MW2.
You guys flip-flopped year by year?
Well, because... Yeah.
I remember Colton bought me the first Modern Warfare, the reboot.
I think I bought that one and he bought everyone else. No, he bought me that one too. He
bought me that one. He wanted everybody to play it so bad that he bought it for us.
We played it for a good long while.
We did.
But the multiplayer burned me out.
The multiplayer was not good at launch because the maps were garbage. Until Shoot House came out.
But it wasn't good at launch, but the 725 was overpowered, and that was the one gun in that game that I got to gold.
I remember you never using anything else. That is right.
Yeah, because it was literally it was a double barrel shotgun that could kill from 50 feet away. So I was like, I'm going to get this gun gold before they patch it. And literally a week after I got it gold, they patched it.
So you do it.
It was still kind of broken, but it wasn't like as broken. Because the snake shots hit the store that next year, and those were the most overpowered guns in the game.
That was the things that people started using, the dual wield pistols with snake shot, yeah.
Fucking stupid.
I hate that. I just got fucking...
It was the stupidest thing, because snake shot is smaller than bird shot.
But for some reason, the way that they made the stats in the game, it was like a one-shot kill every time.
Literally, yeah.
And for a revolver, a one-shot kill is insane, because it's just a bolt action with less time in between.
And you had 12 of those rounds between your hands. You just went, kill. Kill.
It's fucking stupid. I remember playing Shipment 24/7 for a little bit, and it just was people using snake shots if they weren't going for camos.
They should have called it like bear shot or moose shot or something, because that would have
moose knuckle shot.
It was literally pistols. Imagine shooting grains of sand out of a pistol. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever shot bird shot. It's nothing. It's like shooting a fucking 22. It's meant to kill
I've never
a
shot
snake.
22.
It peppers.
22 is made to clink cans and shoot birds and rats and shit. Snake shot is made to kill a snake because it's, they're
Oh, that's what
all.
they're called, snake shots.
Oh.
That's why it's called bird shot, because it's made to kill a bird.
What about
They
buckshot?
call it buckshot is made if you're hunting with a shotgun to kill a buck.
Yeah, riddle me that one.
Because bucks are thick. That's why they call it that.
Dude, I learned more and more.
I've never seen. I've always heard that buckshot is called that, just because like all the other things, they're obviously called that. But I've never actually seen a hunting video of someone with a goddamn 12 gauge buckshot actually shoot a deer with 12 gauge buckshot. Because you got to be close with that shit. And anything I've seen from Live Leak, a 12 gauge on a human, and on Mythbusters for that matter, a 12 gauge and a buckshot from 10, 15 feet away is just red mist.
Hey,
Like how dense are deer? Like
I watched Deadliest Warrior. I know how ballistics works.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was that your credentials, bud?
Wasn't it like Mafia versus Ninjas or something? But they had like the Mafia in an episode, and they were just like, this is the Tommy gun, and they just fucking unloaded on one of the torsos.
Now you tell your ninjas, dodge this.
That's basically the plot of Mafia 2.
Oh, man. Go play Mafia 2. If you haven't played Mafia
2 is a great game.
Do yourself a favor and go play it right now.
I own the disc of Mafia 3, but I still haven't actually completed the campaign. Every single time I play it, I'm like, I remember where I got to last time, and I get to that point, and I'm like, sweet, gonna move past a little bit, do a little bit of work here, and then I just go, I don't want to play with you anymore, Woody. Yeah. The soundtrack is awesome in that game, specifically because every time you load it up, it's just like a bunch of like, intro game music as it's showing the titles of the creators. And then as soon as it hits the press start screen, it's just dun, 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 with that Jimi Hendrix song.
Yeah.
All Along the Watchtower.
Is that what it's called?
Coded song.
Yep. Kind of way out of here. Classic Vietnam era song.
What a fantastic series.
No, yeah. Absolutely.
Mafia is I don't think I ever played Mafia 1, but 2 and 3 are awesome.
They have the definitive edition of 1 now, which kind of makes it more modern, like Mafia 2.
Yeah, they fixed the kind of controls and stuff and made the graphics a little prettier.
Because, do you remember in Mafia 2, like this spoiler alert, but Mafia 2 has been out for a long time now. Dom dies in Gears 3, by the way. But in Mafia 2, do you remember where you and Joe
die in Halo 3? Sorry, say that again.
I was about to say, do you remember the scene where you and Joe are like picking up scrap cash at the end of Mafia 2, and you go and you kill that old mob boss leader? Does that ring a bell?
I think so.
You drive out to the suburbs and he's like watering his lawn. That's the very ending of the first game.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's how they connect the two games together a little bit. And then in the third one, you meet up with Vito again.
Yeah, I was about to say Vito Scaletta is one of your contacts in Mafia 3. What's the guy's name? His name Clint in Mafia 3?
The main character?
Yeah.
Isn't it Lincoln Clay?
Lincoln Clay, that's what it is. That's where I had to see it. Lincoln Clay.
It was there somewhere. I told you the story about when I went to go pick up Gears 4 midnight launch, right?
Probably, yeah. You went to a lot of those midnight launches when midnight launches were a thing.
We got Tyson a pre-order for Gears 4. We got him the Ultimate Edition with all the DLC and shit. The biggest part of that game is it came out 3 days early. Well, I called GameStop and I was like, hey, are you guys doing a midnight launch for this? And they were like, yeah. I was like, oh, cool. We show up to GameStop and there's like a shitload of people there. I was like, this many people bought the $100 edition? Okay. We were like 6th or 7th in line. Everybody in front of us was there for Mafia 3. Totally forgot it came out that day. I think we were the only people there with Gears of War 4. Everybody else there was for Mafia 3. It was a fucking sweet sight to see.
Mafia 3 had a lot of hype when it came out.
Had people at a midnight launch. I think that was the second to last midnight launch I went to. No. I went to Tears of the Kingdom last year with Jay. There was a shitload of people there.
Yeah.
And then
You're shooting on people, dude? Not cool.
Shut up. Yeah, some dude drove by in his car and he's just hanging his head out the window and he went, fucking nerds!
What the fuck?
Because there was just a bunch of people lined up outside of GameStop, which, I mean, honestly, fair.
Nowadays, when a game comes out, it's just everyone pre-orders it and they pre-install it.
Yeah, the last midnight launch I went to was Division 2, or the first Division.
I remember that. I remember you trying to find a GameStop at that mall.
Yeah, I all the GameStop orders that were being held at inside the mall GameStop had to be transferred to an outside secondary GameStop.
I just remember you on the phone call, like, okay, so where do I go pick it up at?
Well, yeah, 'cause I never been to a goddamn midnight release.
Mm-hmm.
You have. You've been to like 8 of them.
I've been to a few, yeah. I went to
Sorry.
Fallout. I think before that I went to Gears of War 3 and Fallout 4.
Nice.
I think that's all of them.
I wanted to go to the what was it, Halo CE anniversary, because that was one of the first games that I pre-ordered, like before the year before that Black Ops 2 came out. No, somewhere around there, around that time when I was finally able to be like, I saved up my allowance, I'm gonna pre-order a game with this when the game comes out that year. And I pre-ordered that one, and I was like, can we go to the midnight release? And my parents went, when does it come out? And I was like, the game releases at midnight. And they were like, it's a school night, go to bed, we'll pick it up after you get out of school. And I was like, okay.
You just don't get it. You just don't get it.
Just I was like, I remember driving with my dad. He was driving me to go pick it up, and I was like, yeah, since I pre-ordered it, I get it in that edition of it. I get a thing called the Grunt Funeral Skull, because there's a skull in it called the Grunt Birthday Party, where it makes like it's like a confetti, and now with this one, when they get shot, they just blow up, and my dad was like, okay. And then we got home, and he was like, he was kind of watching me play, and he was like, so is that the grand funeral? And I was like, Grunt Funeral, Dad. And he was like, what did I say?
What did I say?
Baller. That's a good response. I'm gonna call it the grand funeral now.
Yeah, that's what he always called it, because that was before we had like the first headset to controller where we could hear our game in a headset. We had Turtle Beaches. Before that, we had everything on speakers. So they always heard the games that we played. And Ben unlocked the fucking the Grunt Funeral or the Grunt Birthday Party death sound in Halo Reach. So it'd be his turn on the Xbox, and every time he died in a fucking online match, it was just yeah.
Yay!
My parents would be like, what the fuck is that sound? The only thing that annoyed them more than that was original Minecraft, when they went oof, 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 oof. They hated listening to Minecraft. As soon as I started getting killed by a zombie or I fell in lava, and it's just oof, oof, oof. My parents watching the movie in the next room over was like, turn that down, turn it off, actually, go to bed. If I fucking died in Minecraft, that was it. It was like, oh, they heard it.
That's what you had to do when you were recording. You had to be quiet.
Dude, just turn down the volume, dude.
The volume was turned down, but so was theirs, because they were listening to us.
We'll turn down lower.
That was the worst phrase as a kid, was when you were sitting on the couch, like, watching, and you were hoping that, like, one of your parents wasn't sitting there acknowledging your presence, because if you moved or anything, they'd be like, hey, it's past your bedtime.
Literally, right? Jeez.
It's like the Drax method, where you stand incredibly still, you just go invisible.
That worked. That was a method. Tried and true.
Ellie is at that phase, because literally she showed up today, and she was just talking to me, and she was like, yeah, the other day when Mommy was watching a show with bloody face, when I saw it, she put me to bed, and I was like, okay, we have to unpack this.
What is bloody face?
Yeah, I googled it. Apparently, it was from one of the seasons of American Horror Story. So it was probably Ellie was like, I'm going to bed, and was just laying there, but she was just closing her eyes. And then as soon as they were talking, one eye open, watching the show,
Oops.
Because she was just she was describing it in such detail. And I was like, okay, next time I see Sadie, I'm telling her this, because she's like, Daddy, have you seen the show with bloody face and he killed the guy? I was like, why do you know that? What did you? It is 8:30 in the morning, Ellie.
Is this the Bluey event I've been hearing about?
No, the Bluey event is that their uncles got married. That's what the Bluey event was.
Is it?
I'm doing the finger point thing.
Yeah, they had like a gay wedding on Bluey, and then at the end of season 3, the dad put up a for sale sign in front of the house.
Oh, they're moving to America?
I guess so. Fuck.
Dude, that house in America like would sell for at least $8 million.
Oh, for sure.
Have you seen how big that fucking house is? Playing the Bluey video game and touring the inside of it is a trip. There's like 7
This is
living
all
rooms.
one house? 7 living rooms?
Yeah. There's like 3 downstairs and 3 upstairs. And then there's a whole living space outside.
We call that a
Jesus.
backyard in America.
But this is in America. It's in
Just the
Australia.
living space outside.
Yeah. There's living space, but you can do it outdoors. Confined by a fence.
That the dog's life is like, oh my god, the open world. If it wasn't for this fucking goddamn thin ass tree with no leaves on it, why does it never grow leaves?
I can't take Bluey seriously because they don't go to the animated dog school of Brian Griffin, where he acts like a dog sometimes.
Animated dog school, Brian Griffin.
Yeah, he like wrote the playbook.
Oh.
What's the other biggest talking dog in cartoons? Goofy?
Goddard.
Is Goofy a dog?
Yeah.
Did you just say Goddard?
Yeah.
Goddard doesn't talk.
Got brain dough.
You got brain dough.
Got that
You
sloppy
bought a
brain
meat
dough.
dough.
What brain did Jimmy Neutron harvest to put into Goddard?
Hugh, that's why he likes
Topics
pies.
for next episode. What time are we at on the recording?
We're very far in. About an hour 20.
Sexy.
Cool. Yeah, just because Ellie's yelling and stuff, so.
No worries.
Yeah, Angel's trying to go to sleep too.
Closing remarks?
Yeah, if we want to start wrapping it up then.
We can't have nice things because OnlyFans models want to show boobs. That's
The
my
way-
closing remark.
Got it. Good.
Did
nice.
his mic cut out for you too?
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Oh.
The way it cut out.
That was pretty funny.
What I said was, and then you cut it again. Right here, this is recut the episode. We didn't say subscribe. Subscribe.
No, but remember Oscar, we did that at the start of the episode. We're
Oh,
starting
you're
at
fucking
the end.
right.
For the
We're
people
fucking
that are
geniuses.
still watching. Shout out to you, Brian.
Thank you, Bryant. Why are you
Hey,
watching
Brian
after the video of
graduated
the week?
2 days ago,
What-
by the way.
Where
From?
Brian graduate from?
Computer sciences.
Good for
Man.
him.
Good. I hated
Yeah.
that shit. I actually respect the hell out of him now. Good shit, Bryant.
You shook his hand
Now.
prior to this.
Yep.